Hello and good morning, everyone. It's been a really long time since I've done a middle of the week morning stream. Edward is still asleep, so we need to be a little quieter. If I seem to be getting really loud, let me know. I do have my door shut, so hopefully that'll keep him asleep a little longer. He's not been sleeping very well lately. But here we are, we're in Spilled Juice. I have done some things. As you can tell, there's some differences. I expanded my little walled in area. There's a bit more on the bee front, and there's a bit more on the roots. Not quite sure of anything else I've done, but we're going to run through real quickly, as I always do. Just kind of show you the things that I have made progress on, and then we'll talk about what I hope to get done today. So I told you I would try and do as much of the bee grind off camera as possible. I mean, I will explain to you guys what I'm working towards, but I know that the actual process of bee breeding and mutation can get very repetitive. So yeah, what you need to do, what I'm working towards first, is the ability to make alvearies, because there's a higher production rate for them. They're easier to automate. They're the 3x3 multi-block structures that Binny's adds to bee breeding and production. So I do want to get to those. They require specific ingredients that you get from the imperial and industrious bee. So we're working towards those particular bees, and there's like 4 or 5 mutations I have to get through in order to get the industrious and imperial bee running. Juggalo Gamer, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So yeah, we've got a few running here. I am going to be working towards Diligent and Noble next. The first things you do with any kind of bees, and this is, Edward told me he does things in duplicity a plural, you know, he does a lot more bees than I do. He's very, very good at the bees, and I'm doing it awfully slow, he said, in comparison. So yeah, I may take some of his advice when I get to the harder to mutate versions of bees. Right now, the early ones are really easy to mutate. So you usually start with just going out into the world and grabbing some hives. Forest and meadows are recommended because of the amount of drones that they produce. Forest ones can produce up to 3. Meadows, you get 2. And so you just start running them. And you can automate apiaries with BuildCraft pipes. I just haven't done that yet. So I've just been making a whole bunch of drones. Once I get a stack, I will stop running the forest, and the same with the meadows. Once I get a stack of drones, and then they'll go in here. And that way, if I ever need a forest bee or a meadows bee, I can take any kind of princess I find, use a few drones, and force it to become a forest bee. That's how that works. So then you take 2 of the hive bees and you breed them together, and you'll get a common. So I have a common that's duplicating drones. So this one I've just been cycling over exactly the same way. This one I'm trying to still get to be the drones to all be the same, so I'm still trying to purify it a bit more. All the different stats on a bee can change, so you have to try to make sure when they stack like this, it means they're all matching. So that's when I consider it a pure bee. It does not mean that it's got all of the stats you may want. Let me show you, for example. The portal analyzer is what you need for that. And so let's take this mystical drone out here, and we'll pop it in, and it's going to tell us that it's a mystical cultivated bee. It's active in this one, and see how the lifespan and production and pollination and fertility and all that. Some of these have different stats. Well, a pure one, the active and inactive will be the same for one. But that doesn't mean, hey, what if I want a bee that the lifespan is shortest and not just short? Well, then I need to keep breeding a bee that has the shortest trait and keep trying to get the mutation to switch to shortest. See? So once you have them so that they stack, it may not be the stats you want, and you'll have to keep trying to get the stats you want. it's a challenging game until you can create your own bees. Binnies adds abilities to take genetic traits and create your own genomes and actually inject those genomes into a bee and force it to become that bee. That's advanced down the line. We might get to that, we might not. We'll see. So yeah, we're in common is the two hive bees together that you find in the world, and then you take a common and another hive bee and you get cultivated. And cultivated is that next step. This one has been breeding and stacking. This is the one I'm trying to get to stack. And once I have cultivated, you take cultivated and common. So the two second tier bees, you put them together and you will get either diligent or noble. It can breed into either one of these. So I will need to make another cultivated and common to become one of the others. So then you breed these two with cultivated, so diligent and cultivated, and noble and cultivated, and you'll get a majestic and unweary. And then you take the majestic and the noble and the unweary and the diligent. Yeah, so it's just if you don't understand, you use JEI to look for what we're doing is royal jelly. That is one of the ingredients we need for alvearies. If we do uses, no, recipe, there we go. You can get it from imperial bees or classical bees, which happens to be Binny's extra bees. I have no idea how to get those yet. So we're doing this one. Classical looks like there's a much higher chance. Greek and Roman, marble, heroic, steadfast, value. Yeah, this is another tier to get through. But yeah, so I'm working on bees. Eventually we'll have the things we need. We'll have the royal jelly and the pollen in order to make alveary blocks. And then we'll really be able to go to town on doing bees. Yay! The other thing I have done is over here with Roots. I told you before, Roots is a relatively early game mod. You can get it all done in really early game with just a few resources. And I have done quite a bit here. I have done the pyre rituals to get a bunch of the different crops that you need for Roots. And let me go into the book. So they unlock as you learn as you explore the world. So we've unlocked all of these. They each do different things. They are recipe ingredients for spells and for rituals that you can do with Roots. Some of these I currently don't have planted. You can see here. And that is because they need special soils. And we're going to be making the special soils today, hopefully. I don't know how many I need. There's 4 different soils if I recall correctly. Soil, it's these right here. So we need the Cyclic soil, the aqueous soil, the magmatic soil, and the terran soil. So we'll be making those to grow these other 4. And then these are mushrooms. They grow just like regular mushrooms. They only do the giant ones, so you'd have to bone meal them, and then you get the giant baffle caps, and you chop them down, and you get a bunch of baffle caps. So I haven't actually done that, but that's a possibility there. That's available to do. So a part of Roots is several different crafting mechanics. One of them, the highest tier one, is the Fey Crafter. And in order to do the Fey Crafter, you need to have a grove activated. And that is what this grove stone is. It's a crafting recipe, and then you activate it. So, it's an easy recipe. The grove stone with the terra moss and the wild root. It's just a bunch of cobblestone. And you get it unactivated, so it wouldn't be all green. And then you use a recipe spell. So I've applied Grove Supplication to this. I think, yeah, it's got 2. And the spell for Grove Supplication is in here. So to create it, you smush stuff together in the mortar and pestle. These things here: petals, wild root, oak sapling, moss stone, and a door. The petals are just flowers smushed in there. So that's really, you do the spell dust, and we've done how to do a spell onto a staff before. You put the spell dust in here, and then you click the staff onto the imbuer, and it imbues the spell onto the staff. So there you go. That's how I did that, and I just right-clicked the Grove Stone and it activated it. One of its passive results for activating a Grove Stone is that it does this grass and flowers stuff within a range of it. I didn't want that in my base, so I did lay out a bit of a stone floor here. It's okay out here, and it does the tall flowers and the grass. The pumpkins were here. I'll take you. So that's that. All right. Oh, Edward's up. We might need that rose bush, so let's put that in there. All right. So Fey crafting is another crafting mechanism, and as you can see here, it needs a Grove Stone. And it's pretty much just like a crafting table. You put the stuff in here and it uses the power of the grove to craft items. And we need this Fey crafting table, this Fey crafter, to make the elemental soils that we need to grow these other things. So that's what we're going to be doing first. And then I thought we'd continue with the Arcane Archives, making troves and maybe a tank. Troves are like storage drawers or barrels. They are massive storage of one item. And then tanks are exactly what you'd think. They are massive storage of a liquid. You can make a smaller version of a tank that actually connects to the tank, and it's called an amphora, which is, you know, the Greek water vessels, the oil vessels. And when you, I believe, I'm gonna have to read the book again, but I think when you right click on a fluid, it picks it up and puts it in the tank that's attached to, and then you can also use it and it pulls stuff out of that same tank. So that is a possibility for some in-world fluid collection and storage and that sort of thing. There's a lot of other really neat gadgets in the form of stones that are really cool. Gemstones that are really cool that I'd like to look at too. Is the Fey crafter close enough to the stone? Good question. Good question, Darkwing. We're gonna find out in a moment, because we're gonna make an elemental. We're gonna make some of the elemental soil. I think it is. I think it just has to be within range of the grove that's generating. I think that's a 9x9 area, but we're going to be making this elemental soil, which is dirt, gravel, bone meal, wild root, and terra moss, and you get 4 for every 1 dirt. So we're going to grab the materials we need for that. I want to make 16, so we're going to want 4 dirt. And do I have gravel? There it is. And then bones, that might be, there we go. Can we make this any smaller with any of the ingredients we have? We can get 4 out of that. All right. Hey, Bullock, nice to see ya. And then the terra moss and wild root is over here. So let's get the bone meal ground up in the mortar and pestle so we can get a decent amount of it. Put the pestle back in there. Okay. And then terra moss and wild root. And I think we can shift click. Yep. All right, so we have that, and then we need to click it with a tool. I can't remember what tool. I can't remember what tool. That's not in rituals. A knife. Okay. A knife. And I have one. There we go. And it made this lovely little sound. Okay. So now we have elemental soil, and this is pretty much nothing. You can't grow anything of the special stuff on it. But if we do uses, no. Why wouldn't it show up with uses? Okay, well. Let's see here. So we have Cyclic soil. Cyclic soil allows us to grow, ooh. We can just swap between the two with chisel. No, I want to automate. I want to show you how they work. So the cloudberries, Dugonia, infernal bulbs, and stalactites all need to grow on special soils. And the first one we're going to do is the cloudberries, and the cloudberries need to grow on the Cyclic soil. Okay, and the Cyclic soil, go back here. The cloudberries grow on the Cyclic soil. It's an airbound soil. You obtain it by exposing the elemental soil as a dropped item to the hairy heights of the open sky, 90 blocks or higher. So a Y of 90 or higher. So we're just going to go up there and, oh, I reset it. There we go. And we're going to do 4 of them. Whoop, that's 5. As the Cyclic soil. I'll take you. I've been using you for string. Alright, so yep, just keep an eye on our Y. We just need to get up to 90 or higher. You can just, you know, stack jump if you want, but we have a height that we can get to, so that's not a big deal. We're almost there. See, now we should be able to, hey, I want that egg. Hi there. We should be able to just drop them on the ground, give them a moment, and they become Cyclic soil because they've absorbed the air or whatever. So there's that one. And it's the same sort of deal for the other 3. Can I jump in there without destroying? Yay! Okay. So if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll put our Cyclic soil down. Now these do have special properties, so you can use them for, I believe you can plant regular crops on them. This particular one, normal plants can also be grown on Cyclic soil, and the soil will grow them much faster than normal. So that's an option for farming. Okay. So the next one we're gonna do is aqueous soil, and aqueous soil is obtained by soaking elemental soil in water. Okay, and you can grow normal plants on them, and they will be harvested automatically. Drops are placed in containers below the soil or on the surface if there's nothing below. Gravel beneath prevents this behavior. That's kind of cool. So yeah, you can auto harvest plants grown that way. Isn't that cool? So yeah, containers is any inventory item. So like if you had hoppers underneath, it would pick it up and send it to another surface. So that's an option for automating farms as well. And I think I would like it more than the growing faster. But we have a little bit of water over here. We're going to put 4 pieces into the water. and they become aqueous soil. All right. And it won't harvest, will it? Oh, I think it still will auto harvest. If we want it to not auto harvest this, we need to grab some gravel, as the book said, which I don't want it to right now. So yeah, I cannot remember if I can dig this up and it will come back as the enchanted soil or not. Okay, good. We're gonna put gravel in here so that it doesn't auto harvest for now, because we don't want that action to happen. We should plant the things. We've got the dugonias and the cloudberries done. Okay, cloudberries on the sky and dewberries on the water. All right, and then the next one we're going to do is the terran soil. The terran soil needs to be exposed to dark covered depths of caves and caverns or whatever. It just needs to be, it needs to be at Y30 or lower for it to work. And you can use this for farming as well. It'll yield much more per crop. So it's sort of, so if you normally only get 1 potato, which you know that doesn't happen, you'll get 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's nice for that too. We are just going to go down into our little mine shaft down here that we've dug down below Y30, and then we'll be able to throw a couple of pieces of elemental soil on the ground and get terran soil. All right. Get half of those, throw them on the ground, and there we go. Come to think of it, this one we can do down here as well. We need to throw the magmatic soil on top of a pool of lava. And you can grow regular plants on it as well, and they'll be cooked when they're harvested. So instead of getting a raw potato, you'd get a baked potato. Sound cool? Now down here, I know there's lava. Ooh, did I hear? I thought I heard something. At least I was pretty sure there was lava down here. Am I wrong? I dug a really long tunnel. Because I see, do you see on the mini map, there's an interesting looking structure. Maybe you can see it on the bigger version. Can we see cave layers? No, sort of. This is pretty square, and I want to know what it is. That's really it. So I was digging this way and I was going to head that way to see what it is. That is so square. I don't see, there's a little bit of lava there. I should go that way. And what is that? Oh, it's redstone. That's a hive. Okay. I know I have lava in the mining world exposed, so if this isn't enough lava for this to work, because I think it needs to be more than 1 block. I mean, it says pool of lava. I'm pretty sure it's more than just 1 block of lava. And I don't know how much is here. Okay, that should work. Let's find out. There we go. Come back. Or not. There we go. My pick I enchanted. It's got magnet and efficiency 4. So the magnet's really nice. It'll magnet things to it when you're holding the pick in, you know, when you have the pick activated. So that's kind of cool. I don't know what... Hi there. I don't know what adds that. It might be an astral sorcery mine thing. It's worth checking out at some point. It's square. It's some kind of dungeon, I'm gonna guess. Whether it's an astral sorcery mining pillar or something else entirely, who knows? But it's square, so it's not a traditional cave shape. All right, let's sleep. Our bees are done. Okay. Like I said, these are not automated right now, so I just have to do this manually. You can see what I've been doing. Ooh, it's stacked. Yay! That's good news. We'll run it one more time and then we'll move it up here to do... Ah, dang it. Still fighting to get this one to stay diligent. Alright, so we're going to scan it. It is cultivated as the inactive. We want to make sure it's both active and inactive. And that's currently what I'm forcing. None of these matter at the moment. So we need, there's one that's both cultivated and cultivated. So this would be a good drone to breed with it. And that one would not, because, let's see here. Let's think about it this way. Let's give you a thought. The princess is mystical and cultivated. All right. So let's say the wood is mystical and the dirt is cultivated. And then we want to breed it with another drone. This one is cultivated mystical and this is cultivated cultivated. If we did cultivated and mystical, here's our chances at getting both cultivated and cultivated. We'd have to pair. We only get 2 chances. It's not as good. I know there was a better way to describe this. There's a certain diagram you can do where you're connecting the traits together of things. Oh, I think here. So then here we would get cultivated, cultivated, and this would be cultivated and mystical, and then this would be mystical and cultivated, and this would be mystical, mystical. Okay, there we go. Punnett square. Thank you, Darkwing. But if we use the diligent drone, we have a chance to get diligent twice. So it ups our chances of diligent. And then, you know, so yeah. So we're going to do you, because you're mystical and cultivated, and this one, which is just cultivated. So hopefully the next time around this becomes a cultivated, because that's what we want. Oops, I don't want you in there. All right, let's get our other crops planted. We have our other 2 soils. And they have really cool animations. See, it looks like it's bubbling dirt. And then this one is the magma flame. They don't hurt you. It's just a visual thing. But we can get these 2 planted now. And there we go. Are you full grown? Yay! So now we can spread you further. And then are you full grown? No. Okay. So we have our first grown cloudberries. Now I'm not sure Might need to grab bone meal. I'm not sure if I can plant this on grass or if it needs to be planted like a mushroom, and we need to do it on the podzol that's out there. Let's make some bone meal. Okay. We're gonna go out here in case we need the podzol. Alright, so let's try grass. No. Podzol. Yes, great. Come on, you said you could. There we go. Got ourselves a giant baffle cap. Does it work with... It does work with Vein Miner. Yay! So one gave us 8. Unless we left the others. We probably have... So we have that. They do not spread like the small mushrooms do, so if you plant them in a dark area, they're not going to spread. Let's put this in here. So keep that in mind if you need some baffle caps. I have made a forestry work table to kind of automate some of my food crafting. Yeah. If you don't know what one of these is, it can hold 9 recipes, and this just means I've locked them so they can't get overwritten. If I did a 10th recipe, it would overwrite one. And you just have the ingredients down here, and off you go. Part of the thing that I don't like about XL Foods is that to get tomato sauce, you just put a tomato in a furnace and you get tomato sauce. But when you use the tomato sauce, you get the glass bottle. So that's waste that should just never have happened, because you don't ever have to put a glass bottle into the recipe to get it to begin with. So that's something that kind of irks me about it. But yeah. Got that going. So yay. Okay, so we have the soils. Let's do some more arcane archives, shall we? I've been ever so slowly collecting a couple of crystals. But there is more to arcane archives. Here's the list of things. We want to go a little bit further to make troves and tanks. So we actually need to make a gem cutters table. And it's a fancier crafting table to make the next tier of radiant quartz. It also is used to make all of these gems currently. Those recipes will be changing in a future version of the mod. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. So we do need to make this gem cutters table next. This is what we're going to be doing. It requires diorite or marble, apparently. Okay. So we need a piece of paper and a glass pane. I wonder if it'll use this colored stuff. And then it needs wood, which we have, a crafting table, which we can make. It needs a couple of these, and where's the paper? Oh, there's a piece of paper. Was that everything? So we need a crafting table. And then... oh, the piece of diorite or marble. Let's give you a piece of diorite. Alright, so romancing the stones. I have no idea how big this is or where to put it. I suppose if it's only 1 block big, not enough space. There we go. It's 2 blocks. That's fancy. Okay, and if we click on it, Alright. So if I wanted to do the shaped quartz that we're gonna need, aha! And then I can just take it out. So this tells you what you can make in the gem cutters table. And then it highlights or lights up when you have the things it needs to make. Either in your inventory or I bet down here too. cool. That's really pretty. The modeling is really nice. I like that. Alright, so we're going to make a trove. A radiant trove. Used to store large amounts of single item. First one for me is going to be cobblestone. So we need to make a chest, a radiant chest, a material interface, and 2 shaped radiant quartz. Okay, I don't know what this needs. This needs another quartz. We need to wait for this to grow some quartz. But we should be able to do the rest of it as we go. So that's what we're going to work towards today, is being able to do a trove. And it looks like one recipe will give us 4 of them, so that's even more awesome. Yeah, so let's make a radiant chest. And actually, let's do 2 of these first. There, because we're going to need them. And then when this one grows again, we'll do the chest. Like I said, I need to automate this. I need more than one. How do we make these again? Gold, iron bars, wood, water. How many gold? 2. Alright, let's make a second one. And I'm not sure where to put you. That'll work. So slow. So we can have a total of 3 of these, the book said. I don't have a whole lot of gold processed right now. Do I have some waiting to be processed? Because that's something else I wanted to do today, was set up some basic ore processing. I'm not quite sure how much time we have for that, but since I need gems. Ways to break. We need a break. Alright, so we have one from Cyclic. And I believe the Cyclic one even picks up the blocks. There's one from Open Blocks. I think the Open Blocks one also picks it up. Okay, so here's the one from Cyclic. There's the one from Cyclic Wins. We just need an iron pick and a dispenser. Breaks anything it faces. Yes, that's what we want. There's one from Project Red, which also only needs a iron pick, but I've never used the Project Red one to know. There's the one from Embers. That requires... That's more expensive. Yeah, so I think we're going back to this one. Just breaks anything it faces. Yep, that's what we want. All right, let's get it started. The dispenser needs a bow, and it needs bones, and we have moss stone, don't we? So we can grow it. And let's put you back in there. Let's make ourselves a iron pick. And then the dispenser. We need, oh, the redstone and the cobble. No, we need, we're in 112. We need a fully repaired bow. There we go. Block breaker. Okay, so. Oh, there's one. Where do we want to put this? I wonder. Alright, so it just breaks. We're still going to need a way of picking stuff up. Good to know. Alright, let's hang on to you. cheap way to pick stuff up would just be me walking by every so often. It's not like there's going to make a ton of it. And I only have the one on there. So that's a start. Are any of these grown? That's fully grown. And then you, hello, are not fully grown. He's going to try and get to me. I don't think he can. I don't think so. What is over there? I always wonder when it just has little red dots. I can't see because it's... I always wonder what random mob has spawned in that I'll have to deal with. Okay. Alright, so what do we need for the next step for the trove? So the chest needs the radiant crystal that we just got. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. I'll go ahead and tuck it in here. And then it's going to need this, which this needs another crystal. And it uses 2 of the raw ones to make a shape one, I think. So we need a gold ingot and then this thing, which is more gold. We need some, we need the dust, so we need more. 3 more, we need 5. Oh, it just grew another one. We need 5 of that. So, yep, automating this for a little bit of time will be good. And you can actually make really pretty decorative blocks. You can see here with the shaped ones, it's kind of rainbowy, and it gives off light. It's really cool. Gold. Nuggets, ingots. It needed some redstone. I don't need that much redstone. Okay, so gold, redstone. Make some of you. Okay, because it shouldn't be able to make anything else now. This is a key. And this is a monitoring crystal. The monitoring crystals are like the corporeal sparks of Botania. Yeah, put them onto non-arcane archive inventories and it will add them to your inventory network. So there's that. Grow faster. We're out of that gold. This should give me 2, I think. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna make another one of these guys and get some automation set up. Use the iron bars and the gold water. Is that it? Radiant. There it is. Resonator. Alright, there's our third one. That is all we can make. If we tried to make another one, it says it breaks it. So it can't be placed. We're just going to put it here for now, but we are going to want to make 2 more block breakers and some form of vacuum. How far away? Hopper Hawks require runes of air, so we don't have the ability to do that yet because I don't have a mana production automated and I don't have the runic altar. So that has to wait. that's the one I wanted to... I'll use you. Do you stack with these? You do, hey. Okay, we're gonna try to make diligent and noble, which is common and cultivated. We'll see if this one, that one needs to be steady, but we're gonna take a cultivated drone because we have a common princess and see what we get. We might get diligent or noble. They breed into either or. So, yep, that's our next step. Woo. Need more of you. So there's 4. We need 1 more crystal, I think. And then we'll be good to go there. I want to make some more of the spells, but I'm not sure which spells I want to do right now. I have a couple of, you know, things still that we need to set up. Let me look at my to-do list here. Oh, yeah. Embers or processing to take care, because we're going to have to do... Is there an excavation spell in Roots? Is there? I don't think there is. Oh. It does shatter. While the items themselves are not destroyed, they will fall on the block below the original block. Okay. Well, that, you know, that makes, I think that makes sense. It's good for making tunnels. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've actually used this one. The crop growing, yeah, we definitely need to get some kind of automated farming and automated trees going. Or just make bigger. Make it bigger. Are any of these fully grown? Especially since we want to try to do Magitech. I keep getting stuck with, okay, how do I do this? Number 1, I would definitely like to do some sort of tech until we can get bees for our resources. Otherwise, I'm gonna be doing a lot of mining for a long time. And I thought there are 2 options for us for mining that are relatively easy. It's this bracer, right? The material interface. Yeah, it's a material interface. And then we should be able to make... What are we missing? Oh, 1 more shaped quartz. Gotcha. So we're still waiting on some shaped quartz. Yeah, so... Uh-oh. There it goes. Wonder what that was. My game just like froze. So back to mining until we can get bees going, because bees are going to take a while. They're going to take us a little while to get to getting the resources that we need. Build craft. We could do a build craft quarry, or we could do an RF tools builder with quarry card. Both of those are going to require a little bit of power. I'm not going to do something that's going to like max things out, just because it's just me and it'll only be running when I'm online, and I don't really need a whole lot. You. should be able to make gun. Oh, there it is. Woo! And these look really cool. So we're gonna get rid of that and use these instead. I really need better storage, but let's put it here. Look at that. It's so cool looking. It looks like the one probe has forgotten where it wanted to be, but here it says 122 cobblestone. Let's take as much of you out as possible. Fill you up. Woohoo! So much prettier, so much more magical. That makes me happy.